Get out of here.
Good.
Don't say any absence stops.
This is now a party.
Josh Birnbaum, step on up. Get on the scale, son. Get off the scale.
I could go into heavy detail. I could go into heavy detail, and I will. And I will go into heavy detail.
And he does. He does go into heavy detail. That's a factoid if I've ever heard one. Heavy detail. What's up?
Hey now.
Welcome to Lab After Dark. Is that what the kids do? Is that how the kids handle themselves? Welcome to the Lab After Dark. I'm your host, Joshua Diaz. And thank you for making us a part of your day. Excellent show earlier. I loved it. It was a time, you know. The subject matter is not fun at all, but it's an important one nonetheless. And I noticed that old Donnie Boy was surrounding himself with people that would take up for him. And by the way, I don't even blame the guy for that at all. I mean, it's probably one of the smarter things that he's ever done. However, that kind of tribalism, you know, it's just, but that's what he does. And he goes on and he's meek and soft-spoken. He's like, you know, we've really tried to do everything and for my daughter, and I should have this and I should have that, and I should have never done that, and then I should have never done this. The meek shall inherit the earth, and beef jerky with pepperoni is only the best. 2 Ezekiel 30:17-25. Yeah, he does have big problems on his hands. He's just a... Oh, Ricky is conflicted. Who's that? Who dat? Who dat? God, really? I have that stupid parole hearing on Tuesday, so that should be a blast. Turns my grandma into a mess. Although I don't understand how it could, but I'm just saying it. Just, you know, so keep my family in your thoughts Tuesday as we once again go in front of the parole board, Charles Manson style, and say, "Hey, who's Ricky Beaver?" Was Ricky Beavers the guy that was singing on Daisy's show? That was gas. Absolute fire. Did that really happen? Thank you. I like the color of my hat too. It's pretty nice. Oh, it's all right. We just get to do it again. Let's just get it over. Get it over with. It's odd because I don't know. I really never truly know what they're going to do because of his like advanced age. He's literally been in jail like 34 years. So hopefully here's to another 34. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. He was just up for parole like a year and a half ago, and it went terrible for him. So I don't know why there's this push. Frozen. It says excellent condition. I don't think I'm frozen. It would tell me if I was frozen. Am I frozen? Is that what I am? Frozen. I got to be honest with you, though. I was actually, when I got done, I just kind of perused around a little bit, and I was actually happy to see Dawn on Miss Daisy's show because I thought that they were going to be talking about the Rapture again, and they weren't. Why does he come up so often? I don't know, but I think his goal tonight was because he knew that I was going on, and I think that they and I could be wrong. Doesn't California have a habit of releasing? Yeah, usually mostly sex offenders. No, I'm dead serious, but I don't know. Murderers, how they do. But anyway, I was happy that she was on talking to Dawn because I didn't want to hear about the Rapture again. And okay. Well, I can't make this stuff up. It happened to me. What are Dawn's thoughts on the Rapture? I don't know. He didn't talk to me anymore. We used to be such great friends. As a matter of fact, towards the end of our friendship, he said to me that he wouldn't commit a felony accessory after the fact for me or anybody. And I was apparently at the top of that list. And I was very, very happy that he holds me in such high regard that he would think of me and his accessory after the fact. So I'm happy about that. Hello, Chris Melcher. So, you know, it's just whatever, but everything's doofy. Bunch of doofy people. What they talked about last night was insane. Mostly the Rapture. I mean, seriously weird again. The Rapture. I'm not talking about the Rapture tonight. But, you know, who knows? You never know what the night holds, my friends. You can never tell. And usually, like last night, if I was to, I think it was this morning, or I think it was, I can't even remember. I stream so friggin' much lately. I know that we talked about Super Mario, so I'm trying to do a recap here, okay? Super Mario and how I thought that they were pizza shop owners and not plumbers. And I believe Make It Make Sense was the one that explained to me that they were plumbers, not pizza guys. And then I stereotyped and said they were pizza shop owners. But anyway, why do I think that they haven't been arrested yet? I don't know. There's a lot of factors that go into that. I think that they're operating under the assumption that Summer Wells is deceased.
Get out of here.
Oops. And It was an accident. Sorry about that. I think that that's what they think, and that they're just trying to get things in line with the boys. But I believe that charges are coming. I'm fairly confident of that. And fairly means I'm pretty confident. But anyway, so we talked about that. Of course, we talked about the rapture. We talked about smoking, chewing. What else did we talk about? I don't know. There was a lot. We covered so many different topics. Oh, yeah, we talked about my plumber. Celeste says, I'm sorry about your plumber, Josh. Mine's tall with a shaved head. Very good looking. He does excellent work. Mine's short, ugly, has a lot of hair, crappy attitude, and he does okay work. I'm fine with that. To be honest with you, it's just okay. It's not great. It's not great work. It's not bad work. It's just work. By the way, Team USA for the World Baseball Classic beat Cuba like 100-2 today to move on in the World Baseball Classic. And another thing that I found interesting, I don't know if any of you heard this, but some international court, I've never heard of them before, put out a friggin', what was it, the arrest warrant on Vladimir Putin. I'm sure he's going to turn himself right in. And like, I think it's just like symbolic, but I don't think Russia even recognizes them as like a court, and I know the United States doesn't. So it must be just an honorary arrest warrant. Let's just get him. Let's hook him up with an arrest warrant. It'd be fun. It'd be awesome. It's just kind of like although he's very deserving of that. I mean, he's a war criminal. And he's definitely a war criminal. There's no doubt. And there's no question about it. But like I said, nobody recognizes that. One thing, and like I said, I don't like really talking about true crime that much on this channel, but yeah, he's going to turn himself right in. Just walk himself right into the jail. But anyway, I just... Was that Ricky Beavers singing earlier? Was that him on Daisies? Was that really Ricky Beavers? I don't even know who the hell that is. I love the name. I saw his name like kind of pop up in the chat. Like, hey, Ricky Beavers is here. I was like, who's that? Are you guys familiar with the Beavs? I'm not even going there. I can't say one word about that guy either way. I'm just not going there. I've tried it before. I've tried to give my thoughts, but like, no. Nope. Moving on. Yeah, Ricky Beavers. That's tight. Really? I can't. I just can't talk about it. It's way too charged up for some reason. But let me just tell you this. After I say that I'm not going to give you my take on it, it's a question. Yes, I do. I expect that to happen. Let's see. I don't know if Ricky Beavers is a country singer. I have no idea. I'm not sure. The origins of Beaver, I don't know yet. But for some reason, his name keeps popping up around me. Ricky Beavers. I'd much rather talk about Ricky Beavers than Donald Trump. I'd much rather talk about Donald Trump than Donald Wells. At least tonight. Or Candace, for that matter. Or, just whatever. Just all the 110 Ben Hill. But anyway, I was going to show you guys this really fast. Just a little preview. Who is Ricky? I don't know. He has a band in Kentucky. Tight. Did Ricky Beavers call him before? That goes hard. Who sucked? That's not nice. This is a Lab After Dark exclusive. Most Dons suck, yes. Yeah. Don Lemon. Don John. Don Wells. Don Otello. So I'm getting dangerously close to releasing, and I say dangerously close, I'm not really sure how close, but anyway, I'm just going to play just a little snippet of the very first episode of 110 Ben Hill. You guys ready? Really? No? You guys ready? This is just a preview. This is just the very intro. The first 2 minutes. Maybe 2 minutes. Who's Don Ho? I'll criticize Putin online. I don't care. I'm not nice. Great. Okay. Does Don lurk in the chat too? I don't know if he does, but if he does, frig off. Frig off, Donnie. Dun 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 dun. We've done everything we can for my daughter. We don't know what else to do, daughter. Sorry, it's so friggin' annoying. What list? The mean list. I've been waiting since Christmas Eve. Jeez. All right, Love America. Sorry. I haven't covered it enough. I mean, I'm covering it. Come on now. This is just a little taster. A little something to let you know. We working, okay? I think I need to wait. Oh, God. I think we'll wait till we get like 90 in the chat. Let the chat swell. Just kidding. I don't care about that. All right, you ready? In 5, 4, 3, 2. I present to you the first ever preview. Like trying to make it a big deal. Who from Sony Entertainment, from the lab, which used to be a shed but is now a studio. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Is it really? Here we go. I see dead people. M. Night Shyamalan, ding dong. freezing. In the quiet rural hills of East Tennessee, there remains a secret that tens of thousands collectively hold their breath about daily. A secret that would be so damaging to a certain few that they will do anything to make sure that secret doesn't get out. When you live in an apartment complex or have a next door neighbor that you share a fence with, you have to be quiet about your actions that paints you in a light that you don't desire the world to know about. Doing what is right isn't always the easiest thing. Lying to a police officer about how fast you're going is a self-preservation lie. It's a common lie. If in fact the lie works to your advantage, you've at least saved some money on a ticket and possible insurance spikes. You can understand why someone would not want to be truthful about that. Take that lie and times it by 1,000. Raise the stakes to life and death, freedom, or imprisonment. Couple that with the attitude of what's done is done and it can't be changed, and you've described the Summerwells case. Without pointing fingers, what's at stake is more than imprisonment or freedom. Those things are important. It's about doing the right thing. It's about a selfless act. Each additional search after the initial weeks of searches have been focused on waterways and the deep foliage of the Smoky Mountains of Tennessee, an area that even the people of interest in this case say lures all kinds of unsavory characters. Going back to the apartment building or the close neighbors example, isolation is good for a lot of things. Peace and quiet, privacy, not much traffic. Think about isolation on a dead-end road. Think about all the secrets that hill holds. And there you go. There's your little taster. There's your little first little look. All right. That's all I'm willing to share right now. But anyway, yeah, so it is coming along nicely. What takes the most amount of time is writing it and putting, clips and, anyway, it'll be worth it. I mean, I hope that that kind of it piqued your curiosity at least. And it's something that I've put a lot of time and effort and thought into. A lot of thought. And a lot of time. So I'm going to be very, very, very excited to present that to you. Ready for more? Yep. So anyway, thank you. I hope that you guys do and will appreciate it, and I know that you guys will. I will definitely let you know when the first episode drops, and it won't be too much longer, I promise. I think I should call it Sorry for the Wait. Trust me, I understand. I get it.
Sucker-muckagus.
I get it. What do you guys think is going to happen? Like, I'm super curious. Another case that I barely covered at all was the Alex Murdaugh case. But now that is kind of off the table or done, I can't share any more of it. I wish I could. I mean, I guess I can't. No, it's not vitamin water. It's called Prime. It's like the new drink of the UFC, but it's really kind of cool because it's like a 20-calorie drink with 2 grams of sugar and a like 17-ounce bottle. And it actually tastes good. It's got like coconut water and stuff in it. You can't really taste the coconut water. Coconut water's not that good. Love America. Thank you so much. And thank you for becoming a member. And then somebody else became a member. They really are good. Like, yeah, they're really good. Like this one, like I said, there's just almost no sugar. What's the question? No, it's actually just that I believe it's the Stephen Smith aspect of like I know that the financial crimes and stuff like that are coming up. And yeah, we got some weather headed our way. Yeah, Prime. It's really good. Like I said, 2 grams of sugar. I don't know why I'm promoting their drink, but it is good, so that's why I'm doing it. Because I think everybody should be able to drink good stuff. But like I said, it's weird because it doesn't. The 2 grams of sugar. I mean, it tastes like it has more. But yeah, I know Lori Daybell's going on trial, and then we have let me see, Lori Daybell. Yeah, you can actually. I think they sell cases of it on Amazon. It's like the best. I really like it. Yeah, you got Letitia. You have so many different trials getting ready to start. Classic Insincere. Yep. That's right. Letitia. Golly, her case is awful. I really do hate that case so much. I pretty much hate them all. Yes, that case is going to be awful. I think I've told you guys this before, but I think that what was kind of insinuated in the court affidavit is that there was like a witness to what happened to the boys, and it's possibly going to be one of their children, biological children, and that either more than one witnessed it allegedly, or witness and was told to help. So it's going to be something that you've never. It's going to be about as bad as you can get. So yeah, hopefully things pan out to where justice is served and The problem is when these people go to jail, there's no incentive. Like when they're convicted, there's no incentive for them to confess, because what they want to do is appeal as many times as they possibly can, and that's what they do. Yeah, it's going to be a lot. FM at 50 says coconut water tastes like butt. I said it has some coconut water in it. But I don't like coconut water either. It sucks. And it does taste like butt. And then Mimi obviously is going to hit you with the how do you know that? And you know that because don't answer that, FM at 50, please. It's a kid's show. Mimi, that is just... Just like gotta wrangle you guys in here. Whoever smelt it dealt it. How do you know what butt tastes like? Zachley's breath. You guys ever hear Zachley's breath? So FM at 50 answers it anyway. So I imagine that is what butt tastes like. I don't know what I was expecting, but yuck. Interesting. No. Butt play. Yeah, exactly. One-eyed Flo. But it's butt with 2 grams of sugar. Does anybody remember that guy that came on? Well, who was the guy? I can't even remember. We've never seen him again. He came up on panel that one time. He was there, and then he was like gone after that. What was that all about? Was that a fever dream? Was I dreaming? Is that what that was? Anybody remember that? It was the night I didn't want to play that prank call because who was it that made me feel bad about it? It was probably Celeste or was it Celeste? Probably Celeste. Or Where the Wind Blows. I'm just kidding. I don't remember who it was. I felt bad about it myself. Hi. Get a smiley headache. I've never heard of. Has anybody ever heard of getting a smiley headache? Tastes like butt. How do you know what butt tastes like? No, not Koi Boy. I don't know what happened to him. I think he swam north for the winter. Or he got snatched by a salmon going up, or got snatched like a salmon going upstream. Bam. No, not that one. Okay, sorry. Maybe it wasn't you. Yeah, I played it for him. I've never made anyone feel bad about a prank call. Right, this is back to the coconut water tastes like butt. Power of the Koi. Yeah, he was like hitting a bong. You could hear he's all. I was like, is that an underground volcano or geyser? It's like, yeah, it is. Oh, wow. Okay. Weird. Yeah, he did have a channel. It sucked. But I don't know whatever happened to him. Not that I really care. I was just wondering. It tastes like butt. Huh? It tastes like butt. Huh? What's that? Are those cartwheels? I've been seeing a little bit more of that. I have no clue who Don Zolcer is. I have no idea, but I absolutely love them. They're hilarious. I have no idea. None. It's okay, Josh. I worked for the government. I'm used to getting blamed for everything. Tower 7. I am agreeing with Lilacs. Yeah, I'm not. Look, I said it's like 10%. But coconut water, if you guys don't understand, is good for you. And so they put 10% of it in here. I'm not saying that this is coconut water. What don't you get? This is not. It's not coconut water. Cartwheel train. Interesting. I've never heard of that. Hi. 10% coconut water. Okay, so are we square on the coconut water? It's not a big deal. It doesn't taste like coconut water. I don't like coconut water. And honestly, quite frankly, I am tired of talking about this drink. And now I'm drinkless. Now I'm drinkless. An additive. Thank you. That bottle is a diamond organ. Yeah, well, it's worthless here in California. Whatever happened? Where'd the lady go that was giving me crap about California? It's like they show up, they're like, yeah, like give me a bunch of shies, and then never show up again. And then I'm like, God, dude, do I hate where I live? Whatever. What about it? What about the rapture? Did it happen? Gone? We're over? What happened? What happened to the rapture? Somebody said the rapture just happened. Drinkless in NorCal could be the title of a Lifetime movie of the week. So butt water tastes like coconut. Oh my God. Has anybody ever timed out a mod before? I bet that's happened. The funniest thing is like that, nothing like that has ever happened on my, I don't know if you can time mods out or not. Here, let's try. Let's see if we can do that. Come here, Mimi. Put use. No, I'm just kidding. Did I have an episode? It tells me that I can time out. It says that I can time out a moderator. Like it gives me that option. Oh, I definitely could. All right, Lulu's getting. I'm timing out every mod. I've seen mods. Really? That's awesome. Justin did today, and I said, "What did he do? He hit the utter button." Yeah. Yep. I'm sure it has. That was kind of one of my that was kind of one of my intros to the quote unquote true crime community. I've seen mods time out each other. That's like the best thing I've ever heard in my life. I can't stand seeing mods bicker with one another while in chat. Wow, who does that? Who does that? I've heard of things like that, but none of that stuff. Right, sure. Right. Right, yeah, sober. Oh. Make it make sense. It's just cartwheeling it up in the chat. I couldn't imagine that, like having to deal with that. I didn't even know there was a drama community. So what do? They just talk about each other? Because that's kind of what happens in this community too, is where people just like want to talk about everybody's like personal lives. You know, everybody's a scammer. Everybody's a, I don't know, SO and a, I don't know. It's just weird. Like the other day, it was super funny. I can't remember who it was, but they were making fun of me for living with my grandmother and my two boys. Like that, apparently, hold on. What the heck is this? Apparently, that was like, that's a bad thing or something. I'm not really sure. The funny thing about that is I remember yeah, that was don't you No, I didn't. No, so the reason, like, I don't really like care about any of that kind of stuff, but I remember when my grandpa was passing away, and he asked me, because he was like my dad, you know, raised me from a child, but my grandma both, him and my grandma both, but when he was dying, he asked me if I would take care. He said, take care of your grandma because she's going to be alone. So obviously he passed away, and like my grandma was a wreck for almost a year. I mean, it was rough. And you know, she lost all kinds of weight. She wouldn't eat. She wouldn't get out of bed some days. And it was awful. And I remember telling my grandma and my grandpa, I promised him that I wouldn't leave her. And I didn't. So I'm proud of that. because it's not easy. I'll tell you, it is not. It's just not easy, you know. It can be very difficult. So, yeah, I just didn't. First of all, I didn't have the heart. They're married for God knows how long, and then, but yeah, she was just. It was funny. Like, oh yeah. It would be easier to not, to be honest with you, but that's what people that like have family do, that care about their family do. My grandmother was the one who took care of me and my sister, you know, so and my sister's, you know, lives very close, and if, like I said, if it wasn't me, it would be her. But my sister and my grandmother, it seems that it was just a little harder for them. Not that they argued, but, you know, just to coexist and, you know, stuff like that. You'll be rewarded in the rapture. My God, Mimi. You know, she appreciates you so much. Well, look, I appreciate her too. I absolutely do. So it's definitely not a bad thing. And it's funny when people say, oh, he lives with his grandma. Like, yeah, no, so we all live in the same house. That's true. Me, my two boys, my grandmother. Absolutely. What am I going to do? Just leave her alone, put her in a care home like other people do to their families? I would never do that. And by the way, they wanted me to put my grandpa in a care home. And I was like, no, like, we're going to take care of him. And I remember when the doctor told me that he was to the point where there was no, like he wasn't going to give me an option at all. Basically what he said was like, you just can't, like, you're not capable to take care of him anymore. You've went as far as you can. So when we release him, it's going to be to a care home. And I remember when he told me that, I went home and I threw up, and I was very, very upset, because the one thing that my grandpa always asked, please don't put me in a care home. Like, he was terrified of him. So we didn't. And it turned out, you know, he didn't end up going to a care home, though. He actually died in the hospital. So that was good. So many people should just take their elderly family to a nursing home. I would never do that. I would never do that. Yeah, well, that's exactly what it is. My grandma did take care of me. What is it? I know. I said, what did I say? He died in the hospital, so that was good. I think that he knew, so that he was just like, I'm out of here. I'm gone. I didn't blame him either. He had Parkinson's and dementia. I mean, it was like, I've never seen anything like that in my life. I've never watched, and I watched him go downhill from the diagnosis to the very last day. And I remember my girlfriend and I had broken up, and I came home. My grandmother asked me if I would come help her with my grandpa, and because it wasn't very easy for her anymore. So that's what I did. And then he died. Sometime later. I can't remember when. And then that's when I was like, okay, well, I can't leave my grandpa. Okay, and I'm going to tell a sad story here just because it's one of the, like, it is a sad story, but it was just the weirdest. It almost reminds me, but it's like, it's a phenomenal, how do I put this? It's just an interesting study on the human psyche. You know, it's almost like, you know, when you're first born, you're a baby or a toddler, you love your mother, you're following her everywhere, and then you get older, you become very independent, and then you go down the other side where, you know, you require more help and so on and so forth. So, but one of the things that he would always ask me, this was after his diagnosis, and he was very much into the grips of Parkinson's and dementia, and I could see it in his eyes. It was the damnedest thing I've ever seen in my life. There was this glare, this like glaze. I swear, I could tell if he was confused by the look on his face, but mostly in his eyes. And so there were some days or some times, and it could be like in and out. It could switch from one to the next. It happened all the time. But the eyes always changed. I don't know why, but I'm telling you, I could look right into his eyes and be like, yes, that's not, you know, craziest thing, man. But towards the end, he was always asking, he would always say, like, I know I'm dying. I know I'm this. And I said, no, you're not. Stop. And he was walking down the hall, and I was like, come sit in your chair. So he sits in his chair, and I go into the kitchen. He gets up again. I don't really notice it, but comes back to the chair fairly quickly. And so I'm walking down the hall, and I notice that there's a couple pictures on the wall that are kind of like askew. Is that a word? Askew? It was askewed. They were skewed. They were askewed. And then there was one in the middle that was just missing. So I was like, what the heck is that? And I didn't know which picture it was, but I had no idea what happened to it. I didn't think much about it. So anyway, I go in the living room, and I sit down, and my 75-year-old grandfather was sitting in his chair, leaned forward, and he's holding the picture of his mom from, I don't know, it was a pretty early photo. And he was crying. He was looking at his mom, the photo of her, crying. And I didn't say anything. I just sat there and sort of just, you know. And he was like hugging it. That was some gnarly stuff. That was crazy to see that. I mean, she'd been dead 30 years, at least. I couldn't believe it. I was just like, wow. And he told me that day that day he said to me, I don't want God to forget me. You know, I had no clue. Never seen anything like that. It was a moment that I'll never forget. Alicia says, my dad was in the late stages of dementia when he passed. Dementia did not cause his passing, though. A stroke did. Dementia is absolute worst disease. My dad thought I was his sister or the hotel. Exactly. He wanted to go home. Yeah. It was absolutely devastating to hear that. You know, it was just like, oh my goodness. And like my grandpa was he was a manly man, I guess you'd say. He was a military man, career military man. He was a heavy duty mechanic. I'd never seen really anything remotely like that from him in his entire life. He was very like strong and just the strong, silent type. And he was like a little kid, you know. I couldn't believe it. I remember telling the nurses were so annoyed with him because he kept pulling the straps off of his arms. When he would pull the tubes out. He'd pull the tubes out, and the nurses would get very upset with him about that. But you know, he couldn't help it. So they strapped him down, like on the gurney or the bed, strapped his hands, you know. And you could tell that they were kind of annoyed with him at sometimes, which I guess I could understand. Like I truly could understand that. Like I get it. I understood because it was annoying. But what I tried to explain, not that they were interested, nor should they be, but I was just thinking like there is not a lot of dignity going on here, and like this isn't really who he is. So, you know, anyway. Yeah, they told him he asked for a cup of coffee and a sandwich, and they said that he couldn't have a cup of coffee and a sandwich. And he looked at me and he says, "How come I can't have a cup of coffee and a sandwich?" So I don't know. It's just what they said. And then an hour or two later, you could tell too, like he was like, it's like an hour or two later, he just like died. It was weird. It was really, really weird to watch that. The whole thing was weird to watch. But yeah, I remember when he did, they took that picture off the wall and I was like, oh my God. Celeste says her mom was fine until 90 and suddenly. Anyway, so it's funny that that's what they make fun of, because they're miserable humans who never had anybody love them properly. Yeah, never put your parents in a facility. They will never care for. Never. I would do everything in my power to make sure that never happens. Brenda Chick says, I took care of my mom and dad. It's an honor. It's a pleasure. And I truly think that to me, that's what life really is about, being there for the ones that you love and just trying to do right by them for the most part. You know, You're never perfect, but you want to do the best that you can. That's really what people should try to do, but it doesn't always happen. So, yeah, the dementia thing is rough. It's scary. Yeah, I was not very old. I think he died when I was like 25. And so it probably started when I was around 22 or 23, 20, something like that. It was fairly young. So it was a lot, though. It was a lot to see. But I'll tell you what, I wouldn't change it. I would never, ever change it. But that's just kind of like I said, that's sort of, to me, what life is about, is taking care of the people that you love and the ones that take care of you. And, it's a good thing. It's an okay thing to do that. And, why is this not big enough? Things like this, it's going to make the situation come to a head. Yeah, I did. I had my kids as well. Full custody. They were mine. Took them, and it's what I seem to do. Let me do 13. It's actually really difficult for me as well, now that my kids are excuse me, that my kids are older. I'm so used to kind of being, they have girlfriends now, and they're young kids, like young men. They want to do their own thing. So, and it's hard. It's like I said, it's hard for me to accept that because of I had kids at such a young age, and it was such a ridiculous thing for me to do at that age. But yeah, I'm telling you, I may have told this story before, but I talked to her doctor. She was not wanting to get out of bed and all this, and she was very depressed and all kinds of stuff. And this went on for like 6, 7, 8 months, maybe more. And her doctor was like, I've seen this before. He goes, Josh, I've ran every test on her. This was, years back. He goes, I've ran every test on her heart, kidneys, everything. And he goes, there's nothing wrong with her. Like, she's very healthy. So I was like, okay. And he goes, she's got life to live. She's got life to live. And so I said, so what do I do? He says, tell her to get up. Tell her to move. Tell her to do stuff. So I remember and my grandma will tell you, she remembers this vividly. She's like, it's the middle of the day. I go sit on the edge of her bed. I look over at her. She's kind of just looking at me, and she's just laying there. And I said, what are you doing? I said, I'm just laying here. I said, what's up? And she says, I just want to die. And I said, oh, I see. I said, well, the doctor says you're pretty healthy, so you're probably going to need to like start smoking or doing some sort of drugs, maybe drinking heavily. Because she was like 70 at the time, something like that. But I told her, I said, so, but it seems like you're pretty healthy. And I said, and you have a lot of people that love you and want to spend time with you. And I said, and it's time to get up. You don't have to stop missing him. You don't have to stop any of that at all. You don't have to stop any of that. But you got people that love you and care about you and want you to do good and be good. And I'm telling you, like, from that day forward, yeah, she's made a whole turnaround and experienced life. But yeah, she's 79 now. So anyway, but yeah, that I remember that whole. I mean, imagine being 25 years old having to tell your 70-year-old grandma that, or whatever, 68 years old or something. But yeah, she's great, man, and she, like I said, she loves the Waltons, and she loves. The thing about that is, and it truly, honestly, doesn't bother me when people say that kind of stuff. But like, as much of a pain in the butt as she can be, you know, I just adore her. I think that I think she's a good person. I think that she's a good mom, grandma, sister, brother. It's 2023, but not brother. Well, maybe brother. Not brother. Brenda Chick says, I'm 66. My two sons had to do that for me. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right, Cheryl. She's a nice lady. She's a good lady. Raising my two boys and taking care of my grandma and grandpa have been like the greatest honor of my life. And that'll never change. I will forever hold that proud. I'll always be proud to have done that. Yeah, she's a pain in the butt too, though. But she's like a good pain, you know. I don't know if she's a good pain. She's a pain. That's for sure. Oh, you're welcome. I hope, you know, I don't know. I hope so. I mean, I try. Not. I just think that that's what normal people do. I think that's what normal, loving humans do. They take care of the people that they love, and that's why you have people that you love. Oh, Lulu, I love you too. And Lulu, I know you're going through a lot too. It's tough, you know. It's dude, I had this neighbor. His name was Winfield Sample. I swear to God. And I'm not doxing him because he's dead. but that was his name. Winfield Sample. And he was, God, I don't know. He's like 94 when he died. He was in World War II and all that crazy stuff. And he started falling. So his lovely wife, Maya, would always run over and be like, Josh, can you help me? So I was like running back and forth between those two. Oh, wow. I think my mom developed leukemia from the grief of my dad getting dementia and then passing away in 2020. My mom just did not want to be here anymore after my dad passed. Wow. Hey, Jerry and Max. Welcome to this cheerful conversation. But anyway, I really did want to just say that because I've really, the whole point of that was the picture with my grand. It was nuts. I've never seen anything like that ever. Ever. So, yeah. Let me see here. You're welcome. You're very welcome. Yeah, Alicia, I'll tell you that you're right. People do grieve themselves to death. I've seen this. Yeah, it's terrible. My oldest son hasn't been to see me for 4 years. Grandchildren are grown and they don't know I'm alive. I'm really sorry, Carla. I'd come see you. That's a shame. That is a shame. I don't understand it. I mean, I just don't. I don't understand that. I've never understood it. Nor will I ever understand that. That's what's weird about this show is that we were talking about butt water. Mimi eloquently asked somebody if they knew why or how they knew what butt tasted like. And then that's funny. All right, I'm going to get out of here. You guys take care. Thank you for being here.
Don't say any absent stuff.
Josh Birnbaum, step on up. Get on the scale, son. Get off the scale.
I could go into heavy detail, go into heavy detail, and I will go into heavy detail.
Hey now.